everyone, welcome to another lesson. So in this lesson, we'll be looking at how to access the last array element, and also we'll be looking at how looping can be done on arrays elements. In the last video, we discussed about how you can access the first element of an array uh, using the bracket uh, format of passing in the indexes into that bracket to get whatever index position you are trying to get for the items in your array. And also we talked about how you can then I think okay, yeah, we talked about how you can get the length of an array using the array name dot length property, and we also talked about another method that we have not yet uh just demonstrate how to implement it, which is how to use short method on arrays element. So we are still going to do that later in the future videos, but for now let's focus on how you can access the last array element. And if you take a look at the example that I have right here, you can see this array contains four different elements, but has an index of 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. And then you can see that accessing the last array element here is using the length minus 1 in order to get the last array element. So let's take a look at how this example works, and how it allows us to access the last element of an array. So let's just quickly take a quick look at that. Accessing the last array. So I already have an array here, fruit, and it contains 4 elements. So how to access the last element of it is just by passing in the length of the array minus 1, and that will give us access to that uh, array, the last array element. So this is the bracket. Inside it is where you first get the length, and then you add minus 1 to it. So, and you can see right here that the last array item here is pineapple, which is correct, because if you take a look at our array here, the last element inside of it is pineapple, and it's like this, pineapple. But if you take out the minus 1, let's see what happens. So without the minus 1, if you do something like this, now you can see that nothing is changing actually. So it is still pineapple, but a recommended way is to use that minus 1, as you can see that the way we did it earlier. And here you still get pineapple. So which means that the way to access the last array. Oh, sorry. I need to refresh this. Okay. Yeah. So the way you access it is by using the minus 1. And you can see right here that if you remove the minus 1 from it, you get an undefined, just as it is displayed right here on my screen. But in order to access that last array, it is very important not to omit the minus 1, or else you will run into an error, and that is going to be an undefined error. So take a look at this right here now. You can see pineapple. Okay, this is how you access the last array element. So now the other thing I want us to quickly look at this is how to loop through array element. Here we have one way to loop through an array is to use a for loop, and you can also use array for each function. So let's quickly take a look at that. So let me, yeah, I'll still go with what I already have here. So I'll just give this variable a name because this input dot length put. Then I can loop using the for loop method. And then I can close my for statement and then come outside of it and put my text to close the UL that I have earlier. And now I can try to output my results document.get element. Output the value of my text. And right here, you can see on my screen banana, apple, mango, grapes, and pineapple. So what I did basically is just that I'm looping through the array, each element of this array by getting the length of it and then a UL and UL. This is just normal HTML. So I want it to be on each line. That's the purpose of the on order listing. Then this is my loop functions. So which are this is a for loop, the normal way you set and the beginning of the loop. Then it checks if this beginning of the loop is less than the length of the arrays, and if it does, it keeps increasing it, and then it begins to use the uh, array name and use this I as the result that is gotten from this iteration to add each of the elements of the array into it. And then here I ended the UL and then output the value. And right here you can see banana, apple, mango, grape, pineapple on the screen. So this is how you use a for loop with arrays in JavaScript. Also, if you want to use a function here, which is the second one, you can also use the array for each function. So let's quickly take a look at that. So to use the array functions, array for each function. So I'll make use of this same example of the array that I have, and I can do let text my variable equals not let text equals UL this way, and fruit for each, which is the function. Then I can pass in the function I'm going to make inside my function and then close this UL. So here I can say, okay, output my result here and then come down below this and make that function, which is what I'm passing in already. Function, my function. So you can see this. Right here, I am getting the same output, like the same output I got when I used the for loop. So you can see here is my function. This is the function. The value can be anything. So the value is coming from what is gotten from whenever these functions run. These are for each functions, which is here when it runs. So this value will trigger and the result will be here, and this will loop and iterate over it and then give us the output that you see here. So these are the two ways through which you can loop through an array elements. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.